Good morning, Fapstronauts. This is a radio broadcast from the front lines. Last night we were assailed by moderate temptation, but we overcame. Together we can win this fight. Alright, that was my impression of a 1940s newsreel. So moderate temptation. Again, hesitate to even call it temptation. You know, there's that question that pops up when it's like so small, right? You're like, was that temptation? Was it not? What is temptation? Was I tempted? And a lot of times I find it's not until after I've really screwed up royally that I probably go like, I was really fucking tempted, you know. And I think part of me wants to say that so that I can justify what I did. But then again, it can feel like, oh, this could be like severe temptation. Like I could jack off like any second right now, I guess. And then nothing happens. And then the next day I'm like, I wasn't really tempted. Well, because I'm judging the severity of the temptation based on the outcome. Now, I think there's a lot of reason why there's such a disparity in how people judge their temptations and how I judge mine. Yes, I'm touching the freaking roof of this car. I think part of that is because perhaps we're misunderstanding the definition of temptation. And I think a lot of it comes from the idea that so many addicts, so many sexaholics, if you want to call yourself one of those, maybe you are, maybe you're not, wish that there would come a day when temptation would be gone forever, when they just simply would not be tempted, when it wouldn't even be a thing, right? And really, I mean, hey, well, yeah, I want that. Don't you want that? You know? Sure, maybe everybody would want that, I guess. But the thing is, that day, if you want, more updates from whatever. New smartphone, I don't really understand it. So, yeah, we'd all want a day like that to come. But if we were honest with ourselves, if we wanted everything that we truly wanted, that day would never come. Because I think a lot of us we want control. You can't control something if you don't have an ability to access it. And it's not necessarily that we want to be able to masturbate whenever we want. Some of us never want to be able to, never want to do it again. Some of us never want to be able to do it again. And those of us who have had those sorts of fantasies, chop it off maybe, I've never had quite a fantasy like that. But imagine for a guy whose religion teaches him that he's going to go to fucking hell if he does this shit. And he doesn't go to if he doesn't get to confession, the guy goes to hell. I mean, objectively. And they all say, oh, there's mitigating factors or whatever. But I mean, this is what the church actually does teach. So. And then there's the whole Jesus saying, if your hand causes you to sin, chop it off. If your eye causes you to sin, cut it out. And then there's an actual example of some church fathers who did exactly that. Well, one, Origen. We're not quite sure if he did that or not. But all that what would you do to avoid hell? If you knew, if you thought, if you believed that cutting off your penis could save you from hell, fuck. If you believed what hell was, like the Catholics believe hell is, you would fucking do it. Now, I didn't do it because cutting off your penis is a fucking mortal sin. But then there's thought, cut it off, it's gone forever, go to confession. Okay, so seriously, I never really seriously thought about that, but because in the back of my mind I knew, oh, this is fucking bullshit. This is bullshit. I'm not saying that everything the church teaches is bullshit, but a lot of it is! Depends how you define church, right? Depends how you define church. What you define teach, right? You get real legalistic here when we're trying to make the fucking Catholic Church make sense. So, anyway, if you define church as the body of Christ, well, obviously the body of Christ is perfect. Christ himself is perfect. Christ being the head of the church cannot err, right? because we believe Christ was the Son of God. Wow, digression. So, we all wish for a day when we could be perfectly free from all temptation. Well, here's the thing. If you want to be free from temptation, like I said, you have to not have the power to do something. Well, I think we all, regardless of whether what we believe in God, we all want to become like God, even if we don't think He exists. I know you don't want to be like the Christian God. Some people don't want to be like the Christian God. I think that's because they don't. I think we have to all broaden our concept of what God is and who He is. And ultimately, the definition of God is complete perfection. I think we all want that on some level. But that's a perfection of everything. Intelligence, power, love. Don't we all want that? Now, if you cannot have perfection of power if you don't have the power to screw up, if you don't have the power to make mistakes, if you don't have the power to sin. So, in other words, even God has the fucking power to masturbate if He wanted to. And He can do it with whoever He wants. He's fucking God. Oh, Jesus Christ, have mercy. Wow, I am really becoming something. So, if you want to be a man, being a man isn't about saying, oh, I wish I didn't have any temptations. It's about saying, I will always have the ability to put my fingers around my shaft, move it up and down until cum explodes out the top. I will always have that power. But I don't want it. And I'm choosing not to do it. And that's like with me and my phone, right? I have not had a smartphone for so long because it's like I don't want to be able to look at porn. God can look at porn whenever He wants. He can create porn. In an instant, God can create 1,000 beautiful, hot, naked women with bouncing... Anyway. But He doesn't. Because He's God. He has the perfection of goodness. He could do that. And just in the same way, with a phone, now we suddenly can almost create anything we want. And if it's not that we create it, but we can call it into being. Any myriads of beautiful naked women right in front of our faces. And with virtual reality porn, that's going to get even more weird. Because they got the new VR headsets, Oculus and Vive, and they're all out already, and they're going to be... I mean, if you think about how cheap it is to come across like, I have a PlayStation 2, and that was fucking, what, $400 like 10, 15 years ago? Now you can buy them for like 20. VR, I can buy them in 10 years. You should be able to pick one of those up. Oh shit, there's a fucking naked woman right in front of my face. So, it's not about escaping the temptation, it's about being able to deal with it maturely. Those are my reflections for today. And good luck to everybody. Thank you for watching and supporting me on this journey with all of your encouragement. Thanks, guys. I haven't been able to respond to every comment because life has been very, very busy and there's some roadkill on the side of the road. And that's what you're going to be if you fucking jack off. No, I'm just kidding. We don't do that anymore. I'm trying to move away from the whole hellfire and brimstone thing. So, all right, good luck, guys. I'm out.